Salutations, my Fallout lovers. It is Matty here today, bringing you a Fallout 4 discussion video. Another week, another Fallout 4 discussion, and today we are going to be discussing which ending to Fallout 4 will be canon if there is another Fallout game afterwards. Basically, we're discussing what ending is going to carry over into the next Fallout game and have the impact. And so, a lot of people are going to be wondering, since there's so many endings of Fallout 4, why it even matters, because technically they all end up the same way. But there actually are some slight differences, and I'm going to be discussing that with you guys today. So obviously spoilers are ahead, and without further ado, let's get into this. So, multiple faction endings, all kind of resulting in the same thing, except for really the Institute ending. Basically, in the end of the Minutemen, Brotherhood of Steel, and Railroad, you end up destroying the Institute, but they always end up kind of killing each other off afterwards. For example, if you take just the Minutemen route, you'll end up destroying the Brotherhood of Steel, you'll end up destroying the Institute, but the Railroad will live on. If you end up with the Brotherhood of Steel, everyone's dead except the Brotherhood of Steel. They totally take over the Commonwealth. If you take over as the Railroad, you'll basically take out the Brotherhood of Steel and the Institute. And then last but not least, if you're the Institute, you betray the Railroad, you take out the Brotherhood of Steel, and the Minutemen live on. And so a lot of people were wondering which one of these endings actually works out where it's something that could carry over. Some people argue the Brotherhood of Steel because they are the Brotherhood of Steel. They've been there since the very first Fallout game. There's no way you'd get rid of them. So that means that you're not going to kill them off. So that means that all the other endings really don't matter, right? But in my opinion, there's one ending that I discovered online that I think would be the canon ending. And it's by the Triple S League. It's a video they uploaded called Fallout 4 Best Good Ending Possible. Peace between the Railroad, Brotherhood, and Minutemen. And it's a whole video showing a step-by-step formula on how to beat the game and have peace between these three factions and destroying the Institute, which makes the most sense. Now, why is destroying the Institute something that has to happen? Because there's too much turmoil in the Commonwealth for that not to be the ultimate solution. The Institute has to go. It's the antagonist, and although you can join them in the end of it all, there's just absolutely no way that they're going to let them live and carry into the next one, or else the problem in the Commonwealth just isn't going to be solved. It's going to feel like all the effort was for nothing in a sense. But this video shows that there's a way for all three factions to live with each other, and it even shows that at the end they mention each other, they talk about each other. He doesn't have any ill will with any factions or anything. It is literally the best possible peaceful ending, and I strongly believe this has to be the one, because the Railroad is alive, the Brotherhood is alive, and the Minutemen are alive, and those are three factions that I think should carry on, because obviously after you destroy the Institute, they say that synths are still out and about, so obviously the Railroad needs to be alive to continue saving these synths and keep on doing what they're doing. They're too good of a faction, and we know how Bethesda is with the good guys. They don't kill them off. The Brotherhood, just a dominant force now. They're a little bit more evil now, very dictatorship-wise in a sense, especially if you go with their ending, where it's hard to imagine them ever going anywhere, especially with all the power they have. And then the Minutemen are really the core of the Commonwealth and build up into something, and that seems to be the universal ending in the same right, but this best possible ending really seems to be the one that sticks out to me as the ending that will without a doubt go into the next game, where it'll say that yes, these three factions learn to live amongst each other and take down the Institute. And one thing that they mentioned in this video also that I thought was interesting is that they commend each other for their work. They don't really hold any ill will. For example, the Brotherhood will say, hey, I guess the Minutemen weren't for nothing, you know, they're pretty helpful. So they don't have an issue with each other. So this is an ending that is very precise, and I'm not going to give you a tutorial on how to do it. If you want to do that, the video is linked down below, but it's just very interesting to me that this is an ending that could have slid under a lot of people's radars, but this most certainly, in my opinion, has to be the canon ending, because we know that Bethesda always likes to go with the good ending as the canon ending. I'd say that almost every game does that nowadays, but some games such as Infamous, for example, they use the trophy data to see how many players pick the good or bad ending and then wanted to see which one carried over, and so that's how they decided what is canon. So some games don't actually do the good canon, but for the most part, I'd imagine Bethesda, with the way they tailor their games to their playstyle and the writers and stuff, that most likely a good ending has to be canon, and if there's a good ending, this has to be the best possible one, where these three factions are alive, don't have any issues really with each other, except for kind of the Railroad and the Brotherhood, but they still exist in peace, and they have no issues with the protagonist. So it seems like that seems to be the best course of history and moving forward for Fallout, in my opinion. But I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Which ending should be canon? Do you think this best possible good ending should be it? Or do you think it should be specific to one faction? I want to hear your argument down below. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. The links are down below. Other than that, be sure to check out sugarbomb.com, the place by Bethesda fans for Bethesda fans. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.